Now let's discuss about the tuples, which are the key workload components for the iFog sim. So I'm inside the Harshit's Improve branch, and here within the source I'm going inside the org.fog.entities, and from here I'm going to go inside the tuple.java, right? So within the tuple.java, once we open this, we are actually going to get to know about that this tuple has been extended from the cloudlet class, which is existing inside the org.cloudbus.cloudsim package, which is basically a workload based class for the cloud sim. And so we know the iFog sim is actually being built over the top of the cloud sim simulation toolkit. So whatever the cloudlet as a workload doing inside the cloud sim, the similar thing is going to be modeled here as well, with some additional capabilities that a tuple is responsible for. So we know the infrastructure which we are going to work out inside the iFog sim simulation tool. There is a direction for a particular task to go, right? So it may go upward or it may go downward, right? So we know there are certain sensors, we know there are actuators who are going to work on the basis of the sensors input, but that input is going to be processed by some fog devices, and the tuple is going to go through a particular network channel, right? So basically whenever a tuple is going to go through certain steps, so there are a couple of new additional parameters which are being added over to the cloudlet. I will come to this cloudlet part, but first I need to give you an insight on what exactly the parameters are. So there are three static final parameters, that is up, down and actuator. So this is going to tell us that where this particular tuple is going to go in terms of network transmission. Then we know about the application ID, we know which tuple type it is. Is it from the sensor, is it for the from the edge, or is it for the actuator, or is it from a fog device? We are going to look into the details when we are going to further talk about another entities. Then we have destination module name, source module name. So this information is important because the modules might be sending one tuple from one level to another, and when it is going to go across the levels, because each level contains its own application module, so we need to know from which particular module it is going to which next module, right? So that is supposed to be taken care of. Actual tuple ID, that is going to be maintained by the system, simulation system, which direction. So up and down actuator we have already seen for what actuator it is going to be, from what source module ID, and what destination device ID is going to be there for this particular tuple. So all these things are going to be put into the particular system. Then there is a map, right? So if you read this particular part, it says map from module name to VM ID of a module instancer. This particular thing is going to be made as a connection between two different entities, right? Two different components. So this is what we have. So next is, if we look at this particular part, it's a constructor for the tuple class, and this particular set of constructor is actually taking a lot of different kind of parameters, and the majority of the parameters are basically sent to the superclass. So which is a superclass? It's a cloudlet class. So what parameters are being sent to that? Cloudlet ID, cloudlet length, PES numbers, that is processing element number, how many number of processing elements are required at a dedicated fog device, and then we have cloudlet file size, which is basically the network input file size, and the output size, which is what this particular cloudlet is going to transmit. Then what sort of utilization model are we going to look at? Generally it's a full, null, or there are other types of set of utilization models which are being provided. If I expand this, you can see these are some set of the utilization models. So one is full, one is null, one is Planet Lab in memory, and one is the stochastic. So any of these can be put into this particular part, and then the additional parameters which are required by the tuple, they are going to be put over into these particular set of methods. Now if we go and look into the list of the method, you will find there are get and set methods which are been there in this particular class. So majority of the operations which are done in this particular class is either setting the value by using the set methods, or by getting or using the get methods to fetch or read the values for that particular tuple, right? So that means the particular cloudlet class which has been extended to this particular tuple class, the majority operations are being done inside this. So let's go inside this particular cloudlet class, and then let's look at that what are the different kind of parameters it has. Even though I have explained it very well in my another course, that is essential CloudSim tutorials, but here, because there is a need, I am explaining them again. So we have all the parameters over here. One is the cloud user ID, which is basically the broker ID, which is going to send or which is going to maintain the information about this particular workload. And apart from that, it is also going to be responsible for submitting it to the dedicated device and then bringing back its execution results, right? So this user ID is very, very important. Cloudlet length is how much instruction is going to be executed. We have already discussed about this file size and output size, number of P's, we understand it, how many cores are required. Generally it is VM based mapping. So when we are talking about modules, we are actually talking about the VMs, right? So similarly, Cloudlet ID status. Now this is very important. We know when we are running a task, tuple is basically what is a task in iFogSim, right? So we need to maintain its status, what status it is in, right? So if you have started the operating system subject, we know that a particular task can be in a ready state, in a queue state, in an execution state, in waiting state, right? And then final completion state, right? So there are a number of states which it can be. So we need to maintain that. Then there is a finish time, execution start time, reservation ID. Now this is corresponding to which data center, right? So in iFogSim, we are talking about the fog devices, right? So that's the particular thing. Then record is to be maintained, new line. These are some of the additional parameters they are being used if we are working on the power based thing. This history is going to maintain resource list. If this particular task has been moved across the different devices, this RES list will be maintained, right? And then index, class type, and NetOS, they are being maintained. Now this is the set of the particular states which are there for your particular task, right? So right now we are talking about the tuple. So that means the tuple can go through all the set of particular states. So first it is being created, then ready, then queue, then in execution, then success. So this is a general flow. Now in between, if during the execution it fails, then instead of success, the fail will be there. Or in between, let's say it is being cancelled by some high priority process or task, then 6 will be there. If it has been paused, then 7 will be there. And then if it is being resumed after the pause, then these particular set of values are going to get used. Let's say if my underlying resource has failed, then this particular set of status has been set for that particular tuple. So this is how you maintain the state of that particular part. Then VMID and relative stuff. Then VMID, cost per bandwidth, accumulated bandwidth cost, then utilization model for CPU, RAM, and bandwidth. All those things are being put into this. And if there is any file which has been required for this particular workload, that has been maintained. So these are some set of parameters which are there already there in the Cloudlet, and that this Cloudlet has been extended to tuple. So that means whatever is there in the Cloudlet, they all are being used in addition to all these additional parameters, right? So we are going to maintain a workload information by using the tuple, right? So and tuple is going to traverse either in the upper direction or in the lower direction, down direction of the particular hierarchy. And if you look at the number of functions that we have in this particular set of Cloudlet tasks model, we can see there are a number of get methods and there are a number of set methods, and they all are corresponding to what parameters we have seen over here, right? And apart from this, if we go and look inside this particular set, there is a nested resource class which has been created, and this nested resource class is actually going to get associated with the particular component which is actually going to execute this particular set of task on that particular node, right? So it's more or less a computing node information that is going to be stored over here with respect to its submission time, its clock time, its actual CPU time, cost that is spent for the execution, how much it has been completed, if it is going to be paused, and all that stuff. So we need to take care of that, and it also maintains the name of that particular resource on which it is doing all that stuff, right? So this is what is important you should be remembering while working around with the tuples, right? Apart from this, there is one more method I just wanted to discuss about, and that method is this write method, right? So in case if we are trying to bring in the history about this particular Cloudlet, right, this is the function, or this is the method which we are going to look at, right? So if we are working on a power aware system and we wanted to maintain the history of that particular Cloudlet, that if it is being moved from one device to the another device for the execution purpose, then in that case what should be done is we should be maintaining its history, that where it has spent some all the execution time and how it has been moved from one place to another. So all that particular thing has been done into this. So tuple is nothing but is an extension of this cloudlet.java class, which is actually existing inside the org.cloudbus.cloudsim. So it has been drawn from the basic cloud sim, and all these information have been maintained by this particular tuple class as a wrapper for the cloudlet with some set of additional parameters. So this is what is there for the particular tuple. Now if we try to see where this tuple has been used, right? So what I'm generally going to do is I'm going to right click on it, and then I'm going to do a open call hierarchy. Then you can see where have been the usage of this particular tuple in a class, where the instances are being created. So here you can simply see that in a sensor class it has been used, in a fog device class it has been used along with the application, and in the another conjunction it is being used for the periodic tuples, right? So let's say if there are periodic tuples at certain interval of time, it is supposed to be sent towards the different devices, then this particular method has been used. So let me open this particular part. You can see a new tuple has been generated, and that tuple has been given certain set of information corresponding to their respective application, respective sources, destinations, and what type of tuple it can be. So here tuple.actuator, so that means it's a tuple for the particular actuator that has been generated from the application class, and there is another tuple which has been generated, and this tuple is going to get the simple source to destination part, and where it is going that has been set over here, right? So you can simply see that on the basis of this particular if condition, a simple tuple or actuator based tuple, they have been generated, right? So let me open up the another set of hierarchy. So here another one is in the get resultant tuple, and when we are looking at the resultant tuple, so again there is a if condition which has been put for the actuator, and the else condition which is put for the simple tuples. So they all have been provided over here. So we can see this tuple is actually going to have the set of list. So here if I show you where this list is, this tuples, let me go to the declaration, and here you can see that there is a list of tuples which has been generated corresponding to a particular application, right? So resultant tuples are being there, which are going to be generated upon the execution of incoming tuples by the particular module names, right? So this is the way how you can actually get the list of all the tuples generated corresponding to a particular application. So let me show you one another thing, that is in the process tuple finish. So you can see where it is being going to get called, that is the get resultant tuple are going to get from this particular set, and then they are going to be sent for the printing purpose, right? So once, because all the executions are being done, and now this is going to be printed on this on the particular console. So we are also going to discuss about the send and send now. If you have gone through the cloud sim section which is there in this particular course, you must be understanding what the send and send now is. So let me bring you back to the tuple again. Maybe I can bring you back to this particular part. So there is a transmission which is supposed to be done from the sensor, right? So if sensor is going to get certain kind of input, and then it is going to generate a tuple, this is how it is going to generate, and you will always find that it is going to send it to the upward direction. That is why this tuple dot up is going to be utilized over here. Now if I take you here, you can simply see this is a public static final variable, right? So this is the reason why it can be used directly over here without creating any instance for that particular class. So this is how you can generate the tuples either from the sensor, from the application, right? Either with respect to the particular actuator, or a general tuple which is going to be sent across the sources and destination depending upon what scenario you are building up. So that is it we have for this particular tuple based class explanation.